COVID-19 patients put hospitals near capacity. How smaller Iowa hospitals are weathering the latest surge. Protecting workers. The reason why the ACLU says businesses aren't doing enough to keep people healthy.
Soggy Saturday. Who's in line to get a little bit of rain today and how it will affect the rest of your weekend?
Holiday shopping during the pandemic. Doctors explain the risks as grocery stores prepare for Thanksgiving crowds.
KCCI 8 News This Morning starts right now.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on KCCI 8 News This Morning Weekends. I'm Tisia. Matinka joins me now with a look at the forecast. I know you're tracking some rain out there, Matinka, so when can we expect some rain?
We're going to be watching it develop over the next couple of hours. So by 10 or 11 a.m. there may be a little bit of drizzle out there, and it's all going to be super light today and all liquid. We're starting out either side of 40 degrees as you're waking up, as you're heading out by 10 a.m. mid 40s, and then by noon into the upper 40s with just a few light showers and a gusty southeast wind. Our West Des Moines sky cam shows the clouds, yep, they're already in place, but the roads are dry. 41 right now in West Des Moines. Breeze coming in from the east-southeast, making it feel a touch cooler, so it's sweatshirt or jacket weather early this morning. Highs are headed for the lower 50s today, and our best chances for rain come in before 6 p.m. today. The brisk wind continues, and tomorrow even more wind is on the way, plus a warm-up in your 8-day forecast.
Now to the latest coronavirus headlines. Iowa broke its single-day new case record on Friday. More than 5,000 new cases were reported. 20 more Iowans with the virus died in that time. And the Iowa Department of Public Health is reporting a record number of hospitalizations for the 20th consecutive day. More than 1,200 Iowans are currently hospitalized with the virus. 246 of them are in the ICU. In all, more than 180,000 Iowans have tested positive, and more than 107,000 of them have recovered. Also, more than 1,900 Iowans have died with the virus. Iowa is seeing a significant spike in rural areas. Mercy One Newton Medical Center in Jasper County has enough staffing to care for 25 patients. Nearly 43 Mercy One affiliate hospitals are helping each other. They are all communicating daily about new treatments and where beds are available.
So we are able to do some juggling and free up space. And also some of the rural affiliates or smaller town affiliates are getting a little bit more comfortable managing some of these COVID patients so they don't all end up here.
Doctors say rural hospitals could be hit especially hard and become more overwhelmed as the flu season begins. And the Ankeny School District is considering a full shift to remote learning if cases continue to climb. The district will start hybrid learning on Monday, but families are asked to plan for even further action. The district recommends families think about childcare and make sure students are bringing home all school materials. And Moravia schools are also moving second graders to virtual learning until November 27th. Keep in mind there. An Iowa regulatory agency is facing a federal complaint over concerns about coronavirus safety in the workplace. The 115-page complaint accuses Iowa Occupational Safety and Health Administration of not properly investigating claims of dangerous working conditions. It was filed by the ACLU of Iowa, along with several other labor and civil rights groups. They say the lack of proper investigations has been going on for years, and it has been amplified by the pandemic.
It's a terrible situation. The federal government needs to do more. Iowa OSHA needs to do more. This has been an ongoing problem.
The groups who filed the complaint represent workers in many industries, including meatpacking, dairy, construction, and healthcare. In response, Tyson released a statement saying, quote, "We've implemented a host of protective measures at our facilities that meet or exceed CDC and OSHA guidance for preventing the virus." Iowa OSHA told KCCI it will fully cooperate with federal investigative authorities. Well, with Thanksgiving less than 2 weeks out, grocery stores are gearing up for holiday crowds. KCCI's Kayla James spoke with experts on how likely shoppers are to contract COVID-19 in a grocery store.
When it comes to grocery shopping, there are just some foods like produce you have to feel out. But how likely are you to contract COVID by touching groceries?
It's possible.
We asked Dr. Wellington with the Stead Family Children's Hospital.
However, we aren't seeing a lot of transmission from contacting surfaces.
And Professor Shaw, an Iowa State professor of food safety, agrees there's not much to worry about.
Research currently shows that there's no evidence of transfer of COVID-19 via packaging or food type.
It would take a lot more to get infected than just picking up an item someone who's COVID positive touched.
They would have to sneeze on something like right away. The person would have to touch that exact area, would have to have enough saliva, and then put that in their nose or mouth.
Both say it's more likely to contract the coronavirus from being in close contact with someone who's COVID positive for around 15 minutes, which can be rare due to grocery store mitigation efforts. KCCI reached out to several Des Moines metro area grocery stores on Friday as they prepare to hire for the holidays. Hy-Vee says they've put up more signage calling for social distancing. They also added plexiglass windows to checkout stations and counters at the start of the pandemic, and most recently, this automated cart cleaning system. Fairway tells us they're in a good and safe position to provide for holiday food needs, highlighting how frequently they clean their stores and the availability of wipes and hand sanitizer for customers. In Des Moines, Kayla James, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
And Dr. Willington says people are more likely to contract the flu from touching surfaces. Your time now is 8:05, and Matika, how's it looking out there right now?
So far, it is all quiet. We're waking up this morning either side of 40 degrees, so it's really not that cold. 39 right now in Ankeny. Here in Des Moines, we're already at 41 degrees, and it's 45 in Osceola. It's the wind, though, that kind of makes a big difference out there. It's a little gusty from the southeast. So far, we're dry in central Iowa. There's a little bit of light drizzle approaching Cedar Rapids down through Iowa City and Burlington, and we'll continue to watch this trend over the next couple of hours to expand into central Iowa. Very light rain on the way today, especially this afternoon and this evening, but highs keep it all rain today with readings in the 50s, near 53 in Des Moines. Tomorrow, all this heads out. Skies clear out. We'll get the sunshine back. It's going to be a really windy Sunday, though, with highs only in the 40s, but we do have a big warm up ahead. It's going to feel really comfortable this week.
Forward to that. One commitment 2020, the final projections are in. CBS News projected President Trump to win North Carolina and Joe Biden to win Georgia. This is a look at the projections for all 50 states. Based on this map, President-elect Joe Biden is expected to receive 306 electoral votes. President Trump is expected to receive 232. And for the first time ever, the Carter Center will be involved in part of a U.S. election. The nonprofit will monitor Georgia's hand recount of the presidential race. They will help bolster transparency and confidence in election results. President Jimmy Carter founded the center here, and it has observed more than 100 elections in 39 countries. It's still unclear who will represent Iowa's 2nd congressional district in Washington, D.C. Democrat Rita Hart trails Republican Marionette Miller Meeks by just 47 votes. Hart's campaign is filing for a complete recount in the southeastern Iowa district. The race has gone back and forth twice since election night. New House members are going through orientation this week as they await final certification of their race results. This is a normal process for new lawmakers, but with so much emphasis on vote certification in the presidential race, some are calling it a transition double standard. Republicans are chipping away at seats in the House, with Democrats hoping to flip the majority in the Senate as two races head to runoffs in Georgia.
Which means on January 5th, they'll be the only elections in the country, and they're going to determine who controls the Senate.
The 117th Congress is set to meet for the first time in early January of next year. The presidential inauguration is scheduled for January 20th. In his first public remarks in several days, President Trump discussed the race for a COVID-19 vaccine, but didn't mention the election. Alexa Diaz is in our Washington bureau with what's ahead today.
Tisia, President Trump's supporters will be marching and rallying here in Washington today, protesting the outcome of the election. Several groups will be marching along the National Mall and other parts of downtown. President Trump calls the support heartwarming and tweeted, "I may even try to stop by and say hello." At the White House yesterday, the president giving an update on Operation Warp Speed, the partnership to develop a COVID-19 vaccine. He says he's seeking to fast track Pfizer's candidate, which the company says is showing to be 90% effective.
We will work to secure an emergency use authorization, which should be coming down extremely soon. And my administration will then coordinate the distribution of the vaccine.
The president says frontline workers and high-risk Americans will receive the first doses. The general population, he says, could get the vaccine as early as April. In Washington, Alexa Diaz, KCCI 8 News.
And it's still not clear when Pfizer's vaccine will get rapid authorization for emergency use. If it does, the company doesn't have a large commercial stockpile ready to go. Now, doctors say distributing and storing this vaccine will be a complicated process. The 1 million milestone. Which states have crossed that threshold for COVID cases, and what doctors say needs to be done to clamp down on this fall surge?